Yeah, take good care of your knits. Don't do what I do. Hello and welcome to Fiber Dragon, episode 24. My name is Jessica and I'm also known as Aikika Dragon on Ravelry. I like to come here and talk about all my crafts that are fiber related, so that mostly includes knitting, sometimes crochet, and now it also includes my cross stitch. So if that sounds interesting to you, come and join me. Let's get into the good stuff. I'm gonna just jump right in, I guess. Well, no, that's a big lie. Before I begin, this is a top that I made. This is my Cersei top by Marie Amelie Designs. I did use a yarn called, it was a Peach Blush, and that's all I remember about it. I don't remember. Wool Elf Yarns? No, maybe? Anyway. I accidentally washed this the other day, so this is now officially blocked. Apparently I had tossed it in my laundry basket, and in my mind I thought, I'll remember that's there and take good care of it. But apparently I didn't, and I just tossed it in the laundry with everything else. So good news, it survived. I did find it before I put it in the dryer. So I pulled it out and I blocked it. I will say I love the way it's laying. All the stitches feel nice and smooth and flat now. It did grow a little bit, so it is slightly longer. And of course, as I predicted, the lace relaxed and opened up, so the sleeves are slightly longer than they were, and they're not as poofy now. So I love it. I'm glad I accidentally washed it. I don't recommend it though. Yeah, take good care of your knits. Don't do what I do. So anyway, let's get into the good stuff of my current projects. I'm going to start with my knitting WIPS, which is my works in progress. My oldest WIP on my needles is my Mermaid blanket. This pattern, oh, I stopped in the middle again. What am I doing? See, I take it places, I stop in the middle because we have to get up and go, and then it makes it really hard to show. So anyway, the pattern is by Angie Hartley. This has been on my needles for 30 days. And I'm using Yarn Bee Sugarwheel Cotton Sparkle in Let It Go Flamingo and Twirls at Twilight. So let's see if there's the progress keeper. You can see I got a good few inches in, I think. I think I found a sweet spot where you can see the detail, like you can see the, yeah, mermaid scales. I don't know how well you can hear me, but then also still be in focus. So this is 2 yarns held double, and I go through, I officially made it through my first skein and started working in the second skein, so I haven't woven in those ends yet. You can see there. I took this to a sports practice with me, which was nice because it was chilly. So I laid it, it's not a ton, but I did lay it on my lap and it helped keep me warm. So it's working. I'm making a blanket and it's working. It did, however, start a conversation. There's something about this piece, maybe because it's big, maybe because it's bright. Almost somebody always comes up and talks to me when I'm making it. Now, usually it's a young, like a little girl wanting to know what I'm making and why it's sparkling and all that. But this time it was, I don't want to say older. I don't know how old she was, but you know, an adult. And she came over and started talking to me, and she was interested. She said she was learning to crochet. So I got to tell her about the knit and crochet group that we have locally. and she said she was gonna come, which I believe I saw her there, but we got there a little bit late when we went this past week, so I wasn't sure if it was her or not. But anyway, could have just been someone else that was new. I've made good progress. There's not a ton more to say other than I've only been taking this out like when I go to sports practices, or it just hasn't been my at-home focus piece. So I haven't been working on it a ton, which I feel a little guilty about because it is a gift. And the person's birthday, well, I've said I'm making it for my sister, is in November. And I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to get this done in time. I thought when I started it, no problem, because I was flying through it and I was going so fast. But now I'm starting to wonder, and it's mostly because my attention has been drawn away by cross stitch that I haven't been putting as much time into this. Now, I did make progress. That's nothing to sneeze at, but it is, you know, it's something to consider. So we'll see. I still want to focus on my cross stitch because that's what I'm enjoying doing, and this is a hobby, and I'm going to do what makes me happy. But we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Let me go ahead and move that progress keeper so I don't forget. Now, also, you'll notice I didn't record last week, so that is 2 weeks worth of knitting right there. Now it doesn't seem like as much, does it? And that's okay. It is what it is. That's well, technically it's 13 days worth of knitting. I do still love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's so much fun. It is a conversation piece for sure, and it definitely gets people's attention. Everyone wants to talk about it and ooh and ah over it because it is a lot of fun. So my sister did a great job choosing those colors. All right. So yeah, that has been, I'm not sure if I said that's on my needles for 30 days. So I've been working on that for 1 month now. My next project is my Brunette Nephew's Musselburgh hat. That pattern is by Ysolda Teague. This has been on my needles for 21 days. And this piece I am pulling out just like, I'm going to start calling this my Stitch in Stolen Time piece. Because I just pull this out when I have like a few minutes in between things. So walking one of my kids to school, or oh, I have a few minutes sitting in a waiting room, or gosh, I have, you know, and then I also pulled it out. Sorry, the yarn makes my nose tickle. I've also pulled it out gaming. So I did get some progress in on here. There's the sweet spot, I think. It's still a little blurry, isn't it? But you can kind of see. And I ended up making this, it wasn't really intentional, but I did not want to make the adult small size. I wanted to make, but I was worried that the medium or large or whatever I ended up was going to be too big. So I kind of went in between the adult, small, and medium, I think is what I ended up doing. So I'm kind of fudging the numbers a little bit. They're not exactly to pattern, which is my first time doing that with this hat. I've done it exactly and it's worked out perfectly every time. So we'll see what happens here. I did not do it intentionally. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I was worried that a medium was going to be too big. So I ended up going with the number of stitches in between a small and a medium. So I figured I'll stick with the theme, and the length I will knit in between a small and a medium, which I will remind you, math is not my strongest suit. So me trying to figure out where I'm going to switch colors, because right now I'm working in VK Yarns Red Bellied Snake, and I'm going to switch colors at the halfway mark, which is the Malabring Machita in Lotus. And I sat there, so I was like, oh, perfect. I just divided the number in half. And then I was like, oh, well, wait. that's like the total. I needed to mess with the decrease. Like, I don't know what I was doing or what my head did, but I was like, okay, so there's an increase and a decrease section, and I need to make sure that I take out that number, but I don't know why I thought that, because if I just divided in, oh, I know why. Okay, because in the pattern, it says knit to this length before you decrease. And I was like, oh, so I can't just take that total number and divide it in half, because then that would include the increase number. So I was like, I need to know. Anyway, it was a hot mess, me trying to figure it out. Am I wrong in the number that I figured out? There's a good chance. There's a good chance. So I have decided I need to knit this to 9, no. Okay, let's look. I wrote it down. I need to knit this to just under 10 inches before I change colors. That is what I figured out. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So we'll see what happens. So I am about at 8 and something total. So I have a couple more inches, and then I'm going to change colors, and then we're going to go. I think it's right. If it's not, it'll be close enough. It'll be an adventure. It's a handmade hat, and I think they'll love it no matter what. Right? So anyway, what else did I want to say about this? Yeah, I did get some gaming time in. It was unexpected gaming time. We weren't supposed to play Pathfinder at all this week. So yeah, got a few. I did pretty well on this one, I think. Obviously, it's smaller, so it grows, significantly more. All right, so let me move this progress keeper. Also, that's 2 weeks worth of work, 13 days. Yeah. And so let me tell you, the reason I didn't record last week is because I felt like I didn't have anything to show you. So I had made progress on all of them, but it was, about half of what I had showed you on all my pieces. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't have anything to show anyone, because I have been highly influenced. I was watching quite a bit of what is called floss tube, where cross stitchers get on and talk about their cross stitch. And people on floss tube in general, from what I have seen, have so many projects going, and they're always starting something new. And I just felt, after watching several of those, that I had nothing to show. And then I started thinking about it, and I went, okay, I enjoy those, but there are other crafters who craft differently. And I can't say I'm a monogamous crafter, because I have 2 knitting projects right now and 1 cross stitch. But I do only focus on those, and that's okay too. And if it's just a few things and it's about the progress more than the variety, that's okay to talk about. So I have stories from every time I take these out and knit. Like today, I was knitting this, and one of the children that we walk to school with in the mornings often came and asked me, she said, "Are you making a hat?" And I have to sneeze. And it was just really exciting to get a chance to talk to her about it, and that it's such a slow process and it doesn't just happen right away, and so it's fun. And those are fun things to talk about and share too. So we'll see. I may end up changing my format to every couple of weeks so that there's visible progress, or I may not. So those are my knitting projects. Next, I have my cross stitch project, and this is what I am currently very excited about and what I want to do. So this is mostly what I have spent my time I'm going to put a picture up of what this will look like when it is finished. I am working on Curiosity by Amy Brown. I had no previous project or progress on this because this is a brand new start. If you remember last time, I had finished Octopus by Stitching Jewels Designs. And now I was starting a whole new project. And part of what I had done is when I had started, I was like, well, that's not enough to show people. It really is, because that was a, oh, I'm stuck. My needle is stuck in my shirt. Anyway, what was I saying? It really is. Like, I had put in a lot of work, and sometimes visually that doesn't look like a lot in cross stitch, but I think that's something that should also be shared. So I'm going to try and get over my pride and continue to share my progress, because it is a lot, even if it doesn't look like a lot. All right, so back into it. Curiosity by Amy Brown. The fabric I'm using, oh, you got a little thing there, is Forbidden Fibers fabric in Antique Rose. I think when I was talking about this last time, I thought it was Barefoot Needle Arts had dyed it, because that's where I bought it. But then on the back it says Dyer Forbidden Fiber, and I'm pretty sure that's a well-known dyer. So I'm pretty sure this is Forbidden Fiber, Antique Rose. I just bought it at Barefoot Needle Arts, which is my local knitting store. And gosh, my nose is running like crazy. Thank you, allergy season. It is 28 count Evenweave, and I am doing 1/1 full cross in the called for DMCs, and this is my progress. This blob is my progress. So this is, I've worked on this for 13 days. I've put in 4,493 stitches. So what does this all mean? I am 2.54% done. Sorry about the sniffles and the nose and... So this is half of my project. That, like, I am just the tip of the iceberg done. For those of you who might be new to cross stitch, so I'm not brand new to cross stitch, but I'm definitely new to like the cross stitch world. And so what I mean when I say 1/1 full cross stitch is that I have one tiny piece of thread, because the floss usually comes twisted with 6, usually I think, threads wound together. So I take just one of those threads and I do a full X in each little square. And also the 28 count weave means that there's 28 holes per inch on the fabric. So when I say I've done 4,493 stitches, some people consider that double, because you're doing the stitch and then you're going back and doing another stitch. I still consider it one stitch, but there is a case to be made that that is actually double. I focused on this. I did decide to get Markup XP, which is the Apple Pattern Keeper type app. And Markup XP is a lifesaver on this app. I do not think if I had decided to do this on paper, I might have given up already, because the leaves are very confetti heavy, extremely confetti heavy. And what I mean when I'm saying that is it will be a stitch of a certain color here, then you move, and it's just, there's not groups of the same color together. Now in the dragon, which is the blue, there are small groups. So but the leaves are just pure confetti. I don't know if you can see up here, it kind of shows it off a little bit, just how the confetti, I wish I could get this to not be blurry. Anyway, yeah, it's just extremely confetti heavy. So I decided to start in the bottom left corner because of how, just to keep things straight and how this pattern works up. It is, I don't know what it's considered because the pattern itself is full coverage. However, there is background that is not. So I guess technically this is not a full coverage piece. Like you can see here on the edge how it's kind of curving in. That is intentional. That is not colors that are missing. That is the leaf kind of becoming a curvy edge of the piece. So the background is not stitched in this. So partial full coverage, I don't know. I don't know what they call it. And the funny thing about cross stitch is it looks like you're doing a whole lot of nothing. It looks like nothing. And then all of a sudden it will start to look like something. So I did ask my husband, you know, he knows what I'm stitching, but if out of context, if you were to look at this, what would you think that I was making? And he was like, oh, I guess, and it was a little bit ago, but he's like, I guess you would be making a tree. And I said, yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. But what about the blue? And he's like, well, that would just be the river with some stones in it. I said, yeah, I could see that. I mean, it doesn't look anything like anything right now. But eventually, it's going to look like something. And it's going to look really cool, I think. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on that for 13 days. I think I said that. Oh, I will say this. One thing that I have noticed is the colors don't look like the colors in the original artwork. There is a lot of grays. There's a lot of, I mean, I guess the blacks could be used as shadowing, and the greens are more, they lean more brown green than true green or jungle green. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. It's just a blurry mess. So it's very interesting to me. And there's purples in the dragon. Gosh, you just can't see it. There's purples in the dragon spots. And I don't see that in the original artwork. So it may be, I'm interested in the color conversion that's being done. So I don't know what this is going to look like when it's done. Because the picture that I see, or that I was given as the cover work for this art, is not matching up with the colors that I'm stitching. I still like it. I would like the more jungly green on the leaves. But I don't mind the purple in the dragon. Blue and purple are a great combo. So that is what I've been working on. I am going to now talk about my gaming. So if that's all you wanted to join me for, thank you so much for being here. As far as gaming goes, I got in all of my games this week, and that was a surprise. So one of our GM's schedule is currently different and changing, so we're kind of in a state of we play when we can, and we don't know when we're going to play again necessarily, so yeah. As far as Dungeons and Dragons go, we did get introduced into that game, and I am playing Charmaine Smithy. I did end up choosing a fighter, so she is going to be a fighter. And they were introduced into the world as they were kind of like ripped out of the world that they're from, and then dropped into this GM or DM's homebrew world. And so they all just kind of were plopped in, and everybody, some people were, none of the player characters, but some people were injured or had died, and some people were fine, and we all just kind of had been ripped away and were plopped into this place. And everybody was very disoriented, and we were told that there's a war going on. And of course, so my take on it was, my character was like, well, I need to get home. How do I get home? So that was her motivation to start exploring this world. They went into a town and were asked to help find a gypsy. No, that's not the right word. A person's daughter. They lived in the town or outside of the town. I was kind of unclear on that. But anyway, to help find her daughter, because her daughter has been taken by the king's men because magic is no longer allowed in this world, and her daughter had used magic. So good thing I'm a fighter, because magic is illegal. Oh boy, I'm traveling with people that use magic. This is going to be difficult. So anyway, that's that character. What are the other characters? We have 2 kobolds who are going to be a spicy pair. They're already causing trouble about my character's a human. There's another human. They don't trust humans. They don't trust. And then I can't remember what the other character is. There's 2 humans, 2 kobolds, and I don't know what the other one is. I'll have to find out. So anyway, if you want to watch this homebrew game, that is on Man on Twitch, and you are welcome to click the link below. That is usually on Sundays. And my Pathfinder game, we are playing Bloodlords. This is where I'm playing Bruxa Craft, the witch wizard. And gosh, we got so lost. Our characters were lost in the world. We didn't know where to go to find this final witch, so we went to the wrong place completely. Somehow we got put on the right track. We then went to another town. We ended up in the town. We found out she's a professor and she was teaching, so we went to her lecture and we were asking all these questions, which ended up embarrassing her because she didn't know the answers, so she like left the lecture. And then we went to her office to like look for clues, and we found her home address and stuff. And then we kind of started to question, why are we killing these hags? Like, in the world that we're in the cities and part of the world that we're in, hags are normal. They're a part of society because we're playing in an evil campaign. And so it's like, why are we, wait, because normally you play these heroes and you're killing all these bad guys and all this stuff. Well, we are the bad guys. And it's like, so why are we killing these people again? I don't know. Political intrigue, I guess. I'm not really sure what we're doing. So that's my gaming. As far as reading goes, nothing's really changed. I have been very uninspired with my reading and not doing very much of it. So I probably need to just put them down and get different books that I enjoy more. So that's where I'm going to end it. Thank you so much for joining me. It really is a pleasure having you here. And I appreciate you. Happy crafting, happy gaming. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.